You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drake Wing Gaming, and some of you know me on Twitter, The Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Heart of Amethyst. So, Rodrick's path actually just got a new update. I am very interested to see what kind of new content they've added for him. So anyway, y'all strap in and let's just jump right back in, shall we? Alarm Shan, you are up, and let's go! Alrighty, I cannot wait to see what we got. Rodrick. He may be scary and he wouldn't be a lot of help in the research, but I need his muscle to cover my back. What if some other jerk like Eddie shows up? I'll need him to stay close to me. Speaking of that, could you please tell him to come? His ears drop down and he tucks his tail between his legs. It pains my heart to see him like this, but this is too important for me. I need someone more trustworthy by my side, especially to give me directions, as I know nothing about the higher city. Is there a reason you want to come, buddy? Zach looks away again, making me sigh in defeat. We really need to work on this kid's social skills, but one thing at a time. It's okay if you don't want to tell me, but I would really appreciate it. It's just that I'll be very lonely without you around, sir. My heart shrinks a little as I hear him say those words. I think it would be such a huge deal for him. Maybe I'm being a tad insensitive with him, but after all, we've grown quite close this past month, so I can understand why he would feel left out. I can't let his puppy eyes convince me that this is serious business and he is a kid. And as patronizing as that sounds, it's the truth. I need to think of something to make him feel better, though. I don't like to see him like this. Say, how about you make me a scarf? It'll give you something to do while I come back. Besides, seeing you make all those cool sweaters made me feel a little jealous. The dog's tail starts to wag as he listens to me. Looks like that I managed to cheer him up a little, at least a little while. I would love to make you one, master. Anyway, I shouldn't waste more of your time. I'll let them know that you want to meet. If you'll excuse me. He bows and leaves before I can say a word. The dog seems genuinely excited about the whole scarf thing, and I can't help but smile to myself. The little guy has been a great help so far. Making him happy is the least I can do. He helps me organize my belongings, takes care of my dirty clothes, readies the baths, keeps the room tidy, and schedules my daily activities. Sometimes I even think that I'm overworking him, but he insists that this is what he's supposed to do. And let me tell you, as tiny as he looks, he's quite the stubborn one. I chuckle to myself and then rest my head on a pillow. My whole body demands some rest, but I can't give it what it wants just yet. After all, I can't go to sleep without dealing with him first. This could be the most important step in finding out what happened to my little sister. The king knew something, didn't he? From what I gathered, he knows the symbol has a special meaning. But the same as me, he doesn't know what it is. Or that's what he wants me to think. He could be lying, but what would the reason for that be? It wouldn't make much sense to make me bring one of the other retainers with me if this is a trap. There's so many things that I still don't know, but from my allies and enemies. All is a blur at this point. I can't get rid of the feeling that this whole thing is much bigger than just a missing kid. I mean, I wasn't expecting it to be easy, but now that the king is involved, it feels like the closer I get, the messier it all becomes. My only chance is to keep moving forward, but what if... My head starts to hurt a little, and I decide to drop that thought for now. I'll have more than enough time to think about it tomorrow. A fight with Eddie really left a lasting impression on me. I drop the medal on the bed and then stand up from it. Some cold water could do me some good. So I walk towards the barrel placed in the corner of my room. I take some of the water with my hand and splash it on my face. The headache vanishes as I even my breathing, hearing the water dripping from my face back into the barrel. The hell do you want, Runt? I jump in place as I hear the wolf talk. He's standing by the door, Zach a few steps behind him. I offer them a smile as I dry up my shirt. You could be a little nicer, you know. I went through that match because of you, after all. Whatever you say, Runt. What do you want? Fine. Zach, would you mind leaving us alone, please? Slowly walking. Little dog nods and then walks out of the room, closing the door behind him. The black wolf leans on a wall and keeps his eyes glued to me, probably expecting me to open up the conversation. Gee, why does he make any sort of communication so hard? So, I have a favor to ask you. It's an order from the king, but he wants me to ask someone for help. So I thought you could be the one. The wolf raises an eyebrow and eyes me down inexpressively. What's the order? He asks with a cold but not aggressive voice. Rodrick's probably not mad about following the king's orders, just a little annoyed by it, probably. He said that you should go with me to Yagnir tomorrow, to be my guide. Is that what he said? Not exactly. Then what did he say exactly? A gulp, not wanting to say it at all, because I know it probably sounds dumb and he'll get even madder. There's no turning back now. He's already here, after all. A second, y'all. Water time. Just went on a very long walk. Oh, yeah. There we go. That's the stuff. Okay. Okay, so we have to deliver a letter for the king. It's extremely important, and that's why I'm supposed to ask for another retainer's help. And, well, we're supposed to leave tomorrow. Rodrick, for the third time, raises his eyebrow and looks at me with an annoyed expression in his eyes. I'm supposed to be by the king's side when he leaves towards the city. Ask someone else. The wolf moves from the wall he was leaning on and turns around to leave. But I can't let him leave like this. I must find a way to convince him. Wait! I manage to make him stop, and the knight turns around slowly. Oh boy, better play this carefully. Look, there's more to it than just that. The letter is just a little errand that I must do, but the real reason for us to leave tomorrow is information gathering. Here, I'll show you. I move to the bed and take the medal, then I show it off to the wolf. A church insignia? Yeah, exactly. Wait, what? The wolf snaps it out of my hand and inspects it carefully, playing with his beard and tilting his head. He seems to be a little confused about something. And if he's confused, I'm even more lost. No, maybe I'm wrong. It's similar, but I've never seen this symbol. Hold on, you say you recognize this? Please, can you tell me more about it? Is this what the king's asked you to investigate? It's simple. This kind of crafting can only be made by the church blacksmiths. It's only given to the holy missionaries, priests, and knights, each with a different symbol. That's why I think this is a fake. Oh, that's why I think this is a fake. This doesn't look like any of the other 3 holy symbols. But it could be a lead. It's something at the very least. I have to convince Rodrick to come with me somehow, but he can know something or even use his influence to get me into the church. Hopefully. Still, the king wants to know any information regarding this. Maybe there's a band of impersonators who use this metal. That could be, but... Rodrick, please, I'm begging you. Please help me with this. I feel like my heart is about to get out of my chest. I need this. I need it pretty bad. But what do you even want me to do, Runt? Well, maybe you can just get us into the church, ask a few questions or whatever. It doesn't matter. Any information is worth a try. Wolf looks taken aback by my desperation as he eyes me down with surprise, so I decide to tone it down. I'm sorry. Look, Runt, not even I can get you into the church. They are a very closed lot. But I suppose... if we were to report the creation of these fake medals, we could probably get an audience. Really? Can we do that? Rodrick sighs and nods, crossing his arms as he looks down at me, which is not hard for him to do. Alright then, if it's so important for you, I guess I can help. The other 2 will have to take care of the king's safety. You can stop looking at me. You'll crave a hole into my... You'll crave a hole into my skull, Runt. Sorry. I look away, feeling my cheeks grow a little red from the embarrassment. And here I thought I was supposed to tone it down. Tomorrow. Dawn. Don't be late. It's like, water time. Get to bed early. Yes, sir. With that, Rodrick moves past me, pats my shoulder, and then says nothing else. I believe our conversation is over, but the wolf stops before opening the door. You did a good job today. We'll keep practicing. And now, after saying that, he opens the door and leaves for good. Meanwhile, I just stand still on the spot, trying to process the happiness I'm feeling. I'm one step closer to knowing the truth. The best part is that I'll have someone as strong as Rodrick by my side. Better get to bed, though. I don't want to get my bones broken if I make him wait. You're late. I'm sorry. Again. You're late. So, I had to make sure to wake that idiot up and let him know the situation. I also notified a callus yesterday. He'll take care of the king in my place. Why? You mind? He crosses his arms and gives me that same Rodrick look that freezes my bones. No, sir. I'm just glad you're here. Good. Now get on that ship. We need to get moving. Yes, sir. Yeah, pretty. The sight of the Great Lake has always captivated me. You can't ever see the end of it, but unlike the sea, you know there is an end to it. Unlike the sea, there are not deadly animals in the lake, so it's safe to take a swim. There are also no killing waves or dangerous whirlpools that would drag you down to the bottom. Just a big and calm friend that has fed many generations of canines and has helped build the city of Yagnir. It feels big, but at the same time, gives you a sensation of ease. There was a time in which I hated it, though. This lake replaced the side of my loved forest, and the birds soon turned into seagulls. Eventually, like a pesky sibling, it grew on me. It became my home, a place to come to and relax after days of being away, searching for her. I wonder if she's been able to enjoy it as well. I like to think that she does, and that she's here in the city. Because if she is, I will find her no matter what. Alright, lad, I'll be touching port soon. Take all your stuff with you, or I'm selling them myself. You hear? Thank you, Captain, I will. The man nods and then leaves. I, on the other hand, just remained there, mesmerized by the lake. If just for a little longer I could freeze this moment. What am I even thinking? I have a whole day ahead of me. Gotta give it my all. We arrived at the 11th hour to Yagnir's port, and then it took us another hour to climb from port to the city central market, High City Central Market. So, by the time we made it there, it was as lively as possible. The shops were all filled with people, either trying to buy the ingredients for lunch or lunch itself. That's why there was a delicious mix of aromas in the air. You can also notice the high amount of luxurious shops around. Jewelry stores, bookshops, boutiques, and the meat. It smells fresh, unlike the one in the lower city. The houses are also a huge shock. They're built in stone rather than wood, and they're incredibly tall. Most houses have 2 floors, and some even have 3. Everything looks cleaner as well. The paths are made of stone and not just dirt. The walls of the houses are nicely kept, and some even smell freshly painted over. There is also a fountain in the middle. The marble looks as white as a cloud, and there is a nicely designed naked woman holding a jar from which water pours. This is a whole different world. Runts, we don't have time for sightseeing. Hurry up! The wolf yells from behind me, but I don't turn around. I stand in place, feeling my cheeks growing red. Can he for once not treat me like a child? Jeez, we're in public. Give me a second, man. This is my first time here. I can hear the knight grunting loudly from behind, but I don't care. What's so important, anyway? In case you forgot, we have stuff to do. It's just so different from where I came from, you know? It's kind of shocking to see such a tidy place. I suppose. The wolf says nothing else. He just looks around and grunts a few times. Usual Rodrick behavior. Did you grow up here? No. Gosh, she's impossible. Are you done? I roll my eyes and nod, deciding to comply with the wolf's desires. Might as well, or else he's going to be pissy all morning. The innkeeper received us with a huge smile as soon as we told him that the king had a message for him. The old dog assured us that he had been waiting for months to get this letter, and he thanked us kindly for the trouble. To me, he looked like a good man, but there was something weird about his attitude and about the whole secrecy of the letter. I don't know, maybe I'm just being too paranoid. Either way, we didn't get much time to meet him properly, as he insisted that there was some cleaning to be done. He told us to come back later after sunset. According to him, he would have our room and a delicious meal ready for us. So, with that settled, we now have the rest of the afternoon for us. Rodrick proposed we go to a nearby church. A Nerby church. What's a Nerby church? So we could try and talk to someone there. And while that is a perfect idea, I have other plans in mind. I want to meet up with Mr. Biscotti. I needed to make sure that the old man is fine, and I want to. I apologize to him. I'm sorry for this. I didn't want to shut down your plans. Doesn't matter. I just hope you know what you're doing. We are wasting a whole day. Yeah, I know, but I need to do this. Suit yourself, then. I'll uphold my promise and accompany you. Don't expect me to do anything else. Thanks, that's more than enough. Shall we? The day seems to be a little cloudy, but personally I don't think it will rain until later tonight, so we should be good. We go through a big gate and then pass a small river that divides the high city from the lower one. The contrast between the two is noticeable, and now that I've seen the other side, I can't help but notice it even more. It angers me a little, but now it's not the time for this. I must focus on what I came here to do. Anyway, we've been walking for at least an hour since we left the higher city. Rodrick followed me closely, but never talked to me until... It was around this corner, wasn't it? The wolf had stopped a few steps behind me, looking into the distance. I turned around and approached him, taking a look to what he was watching. And perhaps I shouldn't have, because I am immediately met by the sight of a burnt building. Guilt starts to set in, as I can't help but feel awful when I think about the many lives we endangered that day. This house. This house will stay here to remind me of my stupidity. The silence between us begins to feel extremely uncomfortable, so I decide to turn around and walk away. The wolf sighs and follows behind me, not saying a word or even making a single sound. The walk turned into a silent and awkward stroll through the city. I want to say something, but what can I even say? Sorry? But I've said that a million times and it never seems to be enough. I have acknowledged you as a decent person, Ron, so don't feel like I'll keep on throwing shit at you forever. The wolf's voice gets me out of my thought. The wolf's voice gets me out of my thoughts, directing all my attention towards him. This past month has been more than enough for me to notice that. You're not a bad guy, you're just incredibly stupid. Still, this was a perfect opportunity for you to see the consequences of your actions with your own eyes. Now that you've seen them, there is nothing left for me to say. After saying that, he slaps my back with a lot of force, almost making me drop the chops to the ground. Now cheer up, you look like an idiot. He moves past me and starts to walk in the direction to the shop. Was this his way of telling me that he likes me now? What a weird man he is. As we get closer to our destination, a sensation in my gut starts to settle. I can't really describe it. It's like a combination of dread, guilt, and excitement. My heart is also starting to beat faster, as I'm not even sure what I'm going to tell him. So what? Do I just show up and say, "Hey, Mr. Biscotti, sorry for banishing for a month, but I'm fine. Want to eat pork and drink some beer? Yeah, great conversation starter, idiot." The hell's wrong with you? The wolf says behind me, making me stop on my tracks to look over my shoulder and meet his eye. Huh? You look like you're about to puke. Alright, ladies and gents, I'm done now. Don't forget to... Alright, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, leave a super thanks or a tip if you can. It always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.